Solo: A Star Wars Story hits theaters across the world this week, returning audiences to a galaxy far, far away. But this time, we're jumping back even longer ago to a time before the original trilogy even happened. A time before Luke Skywalker ever picked up a lightsaber, but, you know, sometime after his dad killed all those kids. A time when Han Solo became the spice-smuggling, scruffy-looking, nerf-hurting scoundrel we all know and love as one of the greatest film characters of all time.
Who's scruffy looking?
In honor of that, consider this your field guide, your cliff notes. 15 things you need to know before seeing Solo: A Star Wars Story. This is Han. I know what you're thinking, that's not Harrison Ford, and correct, that is Alden Ehrenreich, who you probably best know from Hail Caesar or Beautiful Creatures. We're following the origins of Han, if you will, the very earliest days of his story, which is where we'll start. Han was born and raised on the planet Corellia, a world close to the galaxy's core, primarily known for shipbuilding and used by the Empire to build their Star Destroyers specifically. It was a rough-and-tumble industrial planet, and Han grew up on the streets, turning to a life of crime at a young age. This is Kira. Played by Emilia Clarke, she's an old flame of Han's from when they were young, as they grew up together on Corellia. Given the company we see her in, it seems like she's a little bit of a scoundrel herself. In the film, he'll team up with legendary walking carpet Chewbacca. We're not sure exactly the details on how that meeting comes about, but they become fast friends, and we will get to see the origin of the nickname Chewie. He'll also go toe-to-toe with frenemy and rival Lando Calrissian, a fellow scoundrel, smuggler, and pirate. In the film, Lando is played by none other than childish Gambino himself, Donald Glover, the second coolest person in our galaxy, behind only Billy D. Williams, of course.
I don't claim you can have a better time with Colt 45 than without it. But why take chances?
Han and Lando have a storied history, including Solo famously winning the Millennium Falcon from Calrissian in a game of sabacc, and at the time of the film, you'll notice the Falcon looks decidedly different than we're used to, thanks to Lando's ownership. The sleek smuggler's vessel has been maintained as a party yacht, so you can be sure that when Han gets the ship, it's gonna be in for some wear and tear.
You came nothing? You're braver than I thought.
While Han has a partnership with Chewie, Lando has a partner of his own, a droid named L33T, played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. But instead of the usual droid-human relationship, this one is a little bit different. L3 is a droid revolutionary, seeking to free her fellow droids from being slaves to carbon-based lifeforms. But one of the biggest influences in Han's journey to becoming the smuggler we first met in A New Hope is Tobias Beckett. Played by Woody Harrelson, Beckett is a lifelong criminal himself and a survivor. He'll be a mentor for Han, but the Solo had better watch out, because Beckett always comes out on top. In the film, Han is going to join Beckett's crew, made up of himself, Val, played by Tandy Newton from Westworld, and four-armed pilot Rio, voiced by Jon Favreau. One of the antagonists they'll square off against is Dryden Voss, a big-shot gangster as described by Beckett with connections to the Crimson Dawn crime syndicate, and Kira. In the timeline, the film takes place roughly halfway between episodes 3 and 4, 9 years after Revenge of the Sith and 10 years before A New Hope. That also places it roughly a decade before Rogue One, which of course happened just before episode 4. That means the entire galaxy is under the Empire's control at this point, and while they might not be direct antagonists in this film, their presence and pressure is definitely felt. You can also expect to see the iconic Kessel Run that Han famously made in 12 parsecs in this film. Of course, parsecs are a unit of distance and not time, but we aren't going to retread old ground. Behind the scenes, the film famously underwent some major production drama as they parted ways with directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller just 2 weeks before production was set to wrap. Multiple versions of exactly why they were let go have circulated, but many seem to suggest that Lord and Miller's looser and improvisational approach was carrying the film farther and farther from the script. They were replaced shortly thereafter with Academy Award-winning director Ron Howard. Howard's actually a longtime friend of George Lucas, having starred in Lucas' film American Graffiti, and also directed the cult classic film Willow for Lucasfilm in 1988. Last but not least, does Solo have a post-credit scene? No. While that might be a surprise by modern blockbuster standards, it's pretty common so far with Star Wars films, and actually none of them have had an after-credits sequence so far. Let me know what you think, and if you're going to go see Solo on Thursday night or this weekend at all, but that's going to do it for me here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider turning on your notifications to be alerted every time we upload a new video. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.